Welcome to this tutorial with me, Kat, from KNOTS&XS Crafty Kits. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a colour wedge coaster. To make a coaster that is all of one colour, the process is exactly the same. Take one of your short cords and fold it in half. Even up the ends and place it horizontally in front of you. I'd recommend placing your cord around a pin onto a corkboard. Take another short cord of a different colour to the horizontal cord and tie a reverse lark's head knot. To tie a reverse lark's head knot, fold the cord in half, place the midpoint underneath the horizontal cord, and then feed the ends through the loop created. Pull the two ends towards you so that they are between you and the horizontal cord. You can leave this reverse lark's head knot a little bit loose for now. Take 3 more short cords in alternating colours, so your second cord should be the same colour as your horizontal cord, and, moving to the right, tie 3 more reverse lark's head knots. Finally, attach a long cord that is of a different colour to the horizontal cord, and attach it using a reverse lark's head knot on the far right hand side. Adjust the lengths of this long cord so that the strand on the left is the same length as the 8 strands to the left of it. You should now have 10 strands hanging down, and all the ones to the left are the same length, and the one on the right is much longer. Take the 2 levelled up ends of the horizontal strand and feed them through the loop on the left hand side. Gently pull the 2 strands towards you, tightening the loop as you go. You will need to wiggle the lark's head knots around until they form a compact centre. Tighten each of the lark's head knots securely. Flip the coaster over so that the horizontal part of each of the lark's head knots is face down, and place the centre over a pin. Rotate the coaster until the longest strand is facing towards you. Space out all of the strands. This long strand we're going to call the filler cord, and it forms the inside static core of your spiral. The filler cord is often called the lead cord, working cord, or anchoring cord as well. Each of the shorter strands will wrap around the filler cord and hug it. If you think of my index finger as being the filler cord and my hand as being the strands, this is how you form your knots. Take your filler cord and place it over the strands on the right hand side. Take the next short strand and place it over the filler cord away from you, around the back, and then through towards you, through the loop just created. Do not pull on the filler cord to tighten, pull on the shorter strand. Use your fingernail to adjust the single half hitch knot so that it sits across the filler cord with no gaps around it. The filler cord just wants to sit gently inside the knot and not be bunched up, but not be tight. You have just made a single half hitch knot. Repeat the process with the same strand to form a double half hitch knot. You'll see that the strand you have just wrapped twice is now trapped between itself. Rotate your piece around using the pin so that the next strand is facing towards you. Repeat the process and tie another double half hitch knot. Make sure that you are not pulling the filler cord too tightly. If you do pull the filler cord too tightly, you may find that your coaster starts to cone and form a point. You can now see the edges of your colour wedge starting to form. As your coaster starts to expand, your colour wedges will need to increase in size. To increase the size of our colour wedge, we're going to need to add in another pink cord, as we don't currently have any more emerging from above. So grab one of your spare, shorter cords in the same colour and attach it using a reverse lock's head knot to the filler cord. Once you've tightened the knot, push it up against the most recent double half hitch knot. A reverse lock's head knot and a double half hitch knot look almost the same. This is how you will continue to bridge the gaps in your coaster. Continue to tie your double half hitch knots with the next strand to your right. As the diameter of the coaster expands, you're going to need to continue to add more spare cords to keep the lines of your colour wedges intact. For each new row of the spiral, you probably need to add one new cord per wedge, although sometimes you may need to add two, and sometimes it may be none. Remember to check for coning, which can also happen if you don't add in enough spare cords when you need to. This is because the filler cord is being pulled too tightly to bridge a gap that a spare cord could fill. Make your final double half hitch knot at the end of a colour wedge. Neatly fan out all of the loose strands at the edges and then take a sharp pair of scissors to trim your fringe. Leave about 2 inches for now. Take a comb and brush out the ends of your fringe. A pet comb is brilliant for this. Neatly trim the edges of your fringe to the final desired length. I normally recommend a fringe of about 1 inch, but this is entirely up to you. And there you go, colour wedge or single colour coasters. I really hope you enjoyed creating these macrame coasters with me today. As always, I love to see pictures of your work, so please don't forget to share your photographs and tag Knots and Crosses Crafty Kits in them. Thanks for watching!